What's up, Bulldogs? All right, I wanted to make a video on an Instagram comment that I got on some of my videos and my content on Instagram. So if you don't know, I started a podcast with my wife, Nicole, called Better Than Perfect. It's a relationship podcast where we talk about dating and relationship issues and really masculinity and femininity every single week. I'll put a link down below if you want to check that out. It's been growing pretty rapidly, and I'm having a fun time. It's a really cool thing that I think we're doing in order to help people. And I get it that a lot of the content that I talk about and the things that I say, it's not the typical narrative, all right? I'm not going to use the terminology in this space here on YouTube, but we all know what it is. I'm going to try not to use those words on this channel. But there are certain people that have propagated this, and it to some degree, I've been part of that community in the past. However, I will maintain that my message has always been pretty similar in the sense that I have never been a guy that has said negative things about women. I have always been a guy that has tried to give you guys the reality of life and how to be more masculine as a man, so that you can attract women, all right? And so that you can be a good man in a relationship. So anyway, it's kind of funny because I get a lot of hate, especially for a lot of the content that I create with my wife. And a lot of people are like, oh man, yeah, John's gone soft, or, bulldog mindset. This isn't the bulldog mindset that I'm used to. And there's a couple things that are going on that are happening that I want to talk about here, but I really want to address this kind of core issue that I think maybe a lot of you guys feel like this, maybe, I don't know, but definitely I've seen this a lot on my Instagram. So I want to show you the comment. He said, this guy said, I used to respect your content. It seems as though you went from being a leader in the relationship to her slowly taking over that role. Unfortunately, I got to unfollow as I no longer find value in your content. I wish you the best of luck, or wish the best of luck to you. So, this is kind of funny because here's the thing, and I think where this came from was I did a video clip, right? So we did a podcast on Better Than Perfect, the last one that came out, on 50-50 relationships, right? And so what is a 50-50 relationship? It means a relationship where you have basically things split down the middle. The man doesn't pay for everything. Everyone contributes and pays 50-50. And it's kind of funny because actually Nicole's view on this was that more so that's okay, right? She, especially before she met me, she just assumed that things are 50-50. She did not expect a man to take care of her. She did not expect a man to pay her bills or to pay for things. She expected to contribute. Now, she probably expected to contribute based on how much she was making. So if a man was making more, then he would contribute more, which in that podcast episode, I actually nullify that argument and say, no, that's not the case. That's definitely not fair, right? You if it's 50-50, it's 50-50. And that's why I made the case in the podcast. I said, look, 50-50 doesn't work. As a man, you have to step up, and you have to, if you're going to have authority, you have to have responsibility, right? And so anyway, there's a clip that's circulating from that podcast that I had put out where it's talking about this. And the funny thing about it is, in the clip, it's Nicole talking about how she's been in 50-50 relationships and she doesn't expect a man to pay for everything. And I say, no, that doesn't work. In fact, a man does need to pay for everything. And man, a lot of people got super upset about that. But I wanted to talk about this because I think this is really important, because I think there's a lot of guys out there, all right? And maybe you're included in this, all right? Maybe not, okay? But the thing is, I think there's a lot of guys out there that, when my message is about how to have a woman respect you, or what to do when a woman disrespects you, okay, or what to do when a woman ghosts you, or how to handle women's behaviors, right? If we said that women are always looking for the highest status male that they can find, right? When I create advice like that, where it's not anti-woman, but it is talking about the problems of the male problem, right? The problem that you guys have in regards to women. A lot of guys are cheering. They're in the comments. They like that. They're sharing the video. They like that content. When I'm talking about not essentially what's wrong with women, but the struggles that men are facing in regards to dating and relating to women today, and the things that are difficult in society today, right? I am not dumb. I understand that you have a lot of things in society. I've done plenty of videos on this talking about how it has made it difficult for men, right? Western society, Western ideologies, a lot of women are feminists. Okay, this is very, very true, and that has made things difficult. And we do have a crisis of masculinity, and a lot of times men are treated poorly by society, and masculinity is frowned upon, right? So don't get me wrong, I understand and believe all those things. However, what I found is that when I create content on that type of thing, guys, like I said, cheering in the comments, they like the videos. However, when I create content for men about stepping up, right? For instance, in this case, I'm talking about, look, if you go on a date with a girl, you pay for the date. If you have a girlfriend, if you have a wife, especially, if you're in a long-term committed relationship with a woman, if you want to be the authority, if you want to be the masculine authority in that relationship, you have to be the financial authority, which means that you do have to take care of a woman. Okay, it is what is required. Now, I understand, again, I talked about it in the podcast episode, and you can go through, there's a lot of nuances in that episode, but I understand that in today's society, with how expensive things are, especially if you're just hearing this message, that might not be possible for you right now, okay? But it is an ideal that you should be going after, and if you don't have a girlfriend or a wife right now, you shouldn't get one until you can afford one, right? In the sense that you can take care of her. Now, a lot of guys complain about this and they're like, oh man, well, it's not fair and women don't bring anything to the table or they don't have to contribute. But it's not about that. See, the thing is, and this is why I did this video last week about the advice I give to you is for you, is because stop worrying about what women are doing, right? It drives me nuts that there are so many guys out there that are worried that a woman's going to take advantage of them and use them for a meal. Look, here's the deal, all right? You have to be so valuable, right, in your own eyes and hopefully in her eyes, that if a woman took you for a meal, she would be a sucker, right? If she would miss out or risk blowing the opportunity with you just to get a free meal, it's on her. It's not on you. It doesn't matter, right? You need to be the guy that doesn't care. That's like, look, I don't care if I end up paying for a meal. Who cares? It's not a big deal, okay? Which means that you need to get your financial shit together, but also just your mindset, mentality, right? Don't worry. You don't need to measure everything and make sure that everything is equal and make sure that you're not getting taken advantage of. You can't be taken advantage of unless you allow yourself to be taken advantage of, meaning that you see it that way, right? I when I was dating, if a girl went out to a date with me, which I didn't really even do dinner dates very often, but if I did, and it was apparent that she was just using me for the meal, I would think that she's an idiot. I'd be like, look what you're missing out on. That's dumb. Like, you wouldn't do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't take advantage. Let's say that you had the opportunity to go to dinner with, I don't know, I was going to say the president of the United States, but let's say some famous actor, right? Okay, let's say that, I don't know, who's your favorite famous actor, whatever it is, right? Some celebrity, some rock star, whatever it is. Let's say you had a chance to go to dinner with them, all right? Would you go to dinner with them knowing that they're going to pay for the dinner and that's what you're trying to get out of it? Or would you probably want to pay for the dinner? Would you probably think that, like, would you think, I just want to be friends with this person? Like, I just want to spend the time with this person. Like, this is cool to just be in this person's presence. Like, I don't really care about the dinner, right? And so you've got to be that kind of guy, right? That's what I'm trying to teach you guys on this channel, is how to be that kind of guy, to be that masculine man that a woman would just want to be in your presence, that she wouldn't even think at all about using you for dinner, all right? And I don't want to get off topic here and go on that rabbit trail, but this is really important. You have to have this mindset. If you don't have this mindset, if you're worried that people are going to take advantage of you, they will, because you are showing yourself to be weak, all right? And you guys got to listen here. I have no problem talking about the ills of society in terms of women and dating, and that it is tough for men. I understand the struggles of men. I understand. I have been the guy that was not attractive to women, that was socially awkward, that had social anxiety, that didn't ever think I would even ever have a girlfriend, that no woman liked me, that I was friend zoned all the time. All right. I was that guy. I was that dorky guy. Okay. And then I became a guy that was extremely successful in that area. All right. And so I understand how difficult it is to be a man today. It is a difficult thing. I never said being a man is not difficult. It is extremely difficult. And yes, I am making it more difficult. I am because there is competition, and you have to understand, all right, that I understand that there's a lot of people that are telling you the wrong message out there about women, about relationships. I'm not weak because I'm saying to take good care of a woman that takes good care of you. I'm not weak because I'm telling you that as a man who wants the authority in his relationship, meaning that the buck stops with him, meaning that you're the captain of the ship. I did a video on being the captain of the ship. Watch that video on the other channel. If you haven't seen that video, you need to have that talk before you enter into any relationship with a woman. But look, I'm trying to help you to be a better man. All right. So I am saying that if you want to be the man who's in charge, okay, that a woman looks up to and respects, and that she follows your lead. Okay, like I have in my relationship. You can ask Nicole, all right? She says it publicly. She says, I listen to John. I defer to John. Okay, he is my leader. He's the person who leads me. Okay, she respects my authority in the relationship because she trusts me. But if you want to become that guy, all right, then you actually have to provide. You actually have to take care of her. You actually have to be the guy that is trustworthy. You have to show her love. Okay, even when she's not acting right. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to tolerate disrespect. There is ways to deal with that, but you ultimately have to be responsible. If you're going to be the person in authority, if you're going to be the captain of the ship, you have to be 100% responsible for the ship. That means you have to be responsible for her actions. Okay, because it's kind of funny. Nicole had a really good analogy in the last episode that hasn't aired yet on the podcast, but she said, look, if you have a business, all right, and it's a restaurant, and someone sits down to eat, and the waitress is extremely rude, all right, the person, when they leave a review on Google or Yelp or whatever, they don't say the waitress was rude. I mean, they might mention that their waitress was rude, but they don't go back to that business. They blame the business. They leave a review on the business, not on the waitress, okay? So you're like the business, all right? You're in charge of the household. You're in charge of the relationship. So yeah, if your woman does something bad, you're technically the one responsible for it. You are the leader, right? You have to assume the full responsibility. And again, I understand that not everyone is in a long-term relationship or that you know your partner extremely well, and that's fine. I'm not talking about that, hey, as soon as a girl becomes your girlfriend, then you take all of her bills and pay her car payments and everything like that. I'm saying, though, that if you are engaged, if you're in a deeply committed relationship, if you become married, then yes, you do take on all of that burden as a man. And if you do this, if you understand the male and female, if you understand the feminine versus masculine, you will understand the benefits of this. I don't have to spell them out for you, but I will, okay? A woman will trust you, okay? And she will open up to you and become vulnerable to you because you are providing that safety, because you're providing that financial, emotional stability and safety. And she will become more sexually attracted to you, not less. She will want to please you. She won't have the stress of the masculine world, right? Paying for bills, making money, working a job, all of these things are masculine activities, which will put her in her masculine. She's not going to be as feminine, okay? So she is not going to do the feminine things that you need. And yeah, you might say, well, I don't need a woman. Correct. If you don't need a woman to make money for you. You don't need a woman to pay half of your bills or whatever it is. What you need a woman for, right, is what? Is the companionship, the intimacy, the sex, right? That's what you want a woman for. And you want her to be giving herself fully to you. Okay. So I'm trying to teach you how to do that. And I know it's not, I know, some of this message is misdirected, but a lot of guys that message on Instagram, they say, oh, yeah, I'm following you on YouTube and you did a video on this. So I know that some of you guys are watching this, and understand, look, I love you guys. Even if I make a video, a comment, about your comment and it seems kind of harsh, the thing I'm trying to point out is the contradiction. Okay. I just want you to understand the contradiction, this idea that, and believe me, look, You can have different views than me. That's fine. All right. But do not be a contradiction. This is what I talked about in the other video a couple days ago, where I was talking about objective and subjective realities. Okay. There are better ways to do things. There are better ways. And so do not be a contradiction in the sense that if you want to be the man, and I talked about this, I did a couple of reels on Instagram. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, you can check that out. Just go to @BulldogMindset. But I did some reels and I was talking about, hey, I don't get it, guys. Like, you want to be the man, right? You want to be masculine. You want a woman to look up to you and respect you. You want to be the authority in the relationship, but you don't want to pay the bill, but you want her to pay 50-50. So I don't understand. Like where, so what is it that you're providing her if she's paying 50-50? You know what I'm saying? Where's the trade there? I don't get it, right? How can you be the authority? And like, why should you be the authority as the man? It's because you're taking care of everything. It's because you're acting like the man, right? It doesn't seem fair to me from a woman's perspective. If you're the authority, you're the man, she has to listen to what you say, and then she has to pay half of the bills. That doesn't make any sense to me at all. How by what right do you have the authority? Why should she listen to you and trust you? You're still asking her to do masculine activities and to be in her masculine, but you are trying to say that you're the man. Like, and I get it. Like, if you don't want to do that, if you just want to have like an equal relationship and don't have the polarity of the masculine and the feminine, and don't have the sexual chemistry that exists in that situation, then don't. That's fine. Okay. But don't try to be the man. Don't call yourself masculine and try to be a man if you're not going to act like a man. That's all that I'm saying. Again, I'm not trying to hurt your guys' feelings or to knock you. I just want you to see this contradiction, and I don't understand it, because what are you actually looking for? Again, I know this is somewhat misdirected, but maybe you can send it to someone where it will benefit them. But I honestly want to know, what is it that guys like this are looking for? Are you actually looking for a woman to look up to you and respect you and to treat you like a leader and an authority in her life, and to treat you like the man, but then also to do the bills, half of the bills, and do the housework and the laundry and the kids? And like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, women make some valid complaints about this, right? And the thing is, again, and like I said, you might not be in a place right now where you can be the sole provider, but get there if you can. I'm happy to help you guys do that. That's why I put together my financial freedom program. By the way, if you want to check it out, the best thing to do is DM me on Instagram. And let them know you watch this video. Just say DM the word freedom to me on Instagram, and someone from my team will get in touch with you, and we can talk about that and see if that is a good fit for you. But the point of this video is not to plug that thing, okay? But I am saying that if you're not in the position financially to be able to do that, get yourself into that position where you can, or downsize. I mean, I would rather be the man and be the provider and have my wife be able to take care of my children in the household, and to be in her feminine and not have to go to work. Okay. Not to say that a woman can't work. That's fine. Then, and live on less, and then live a extravagant life, and not have that dynamic. Okay. So it's up to you. But what I don't like is the contradiction of that. But, and again, a lot of guys are trying to say, even this thing, like, you went from the leader in the relationship to her slowly taking over that role. I completely disagree with that, right? I mean, I'm not just trying to defend myself here, but by her own words, she listens to my authority, right? She says it publicly. You can see this, okay? And the reason why is because she does trust me, because I have earned that trust, because I treat her extremely well. I take into account her opinion, and the things, I put her welfare above mine, okay? And I show her that she's loved, and I do take care of all of the financial things. And she didn't ask me to do those things. So you guys have to understand this as well. She wanted to pay for things. She wanted to work and get a job, and I said, no, you don't need to do that. I don't want you to do that. I want you to support me as my wife. I want you to be here to give me the emotional support, the sexual support, all the things that I need as a man. And I will take care of all of the other burdens in your life so that you can focus on the relationship and me and nurturing myself, my daughter. That's what I said. That was my leadership. No one influenced me or caused me to say that or to do those things. So guys, I know, like I said, most of you guys get this. So I appreciate you guys, but I just wanted to put that out there because I think this is an important message today. And like I said, I think you're hearing a lot of stuff about how to be masculine. And I did this post on my Instagram. I did a story and I was like, look, I want you to imagine, and we can go through a exercise. I want you to imagine the most masculine man that you can think of. Just, he doesn't have to be real, but just this most masculine man. Okay. Just get this idea of him in your head. All right. Then I want you to think about this guy going out to dinner with a girl at a nice restaurant. Okay. And then imagine the waiter bringing the bill. Okay. And then I want you to imagine that he looks at the bill, he pays the bill, and then he tells the girl, hey, here, can you Venmo me your half? It doesn't make any sense. That would never happen. You can't imagine that because the most masculine man wouldn't do something like that. Okay. So there's a lot of people, like I said, on the internet, a lot of videos, a lot of content creators that are telling you how to be more masculine, how to be the man, right? And a lot of that advice, some of it's good, okay? But a lot of that advice, it doesn't make very much sense to me, okay? Because if you're thinking that women need to pay their share and they need to do these things, that doesn't sound very masculine to me, right? Does it to you? I mean, is there a way? Like, how does that sound masculine to you? If you understand masculinity and femininity, which maybe, do a study on that. Right? I've always recommended books. I recommend David Deida's, all of his stuff, but David Deida's book on The Way of the Superior Man. You could read the woman version, Dear Lover, as well, which I've been going through, which has a lot of good information. But if you really understand how this works, you'll get what I'm saying, and you'll understand why what I'm saying is true. And even though there's a lot of, I'm not going to say the name of pills, creators out there, okay, that are creating content that are like, yeah, you're the man and all this stuff. And it's not, it's not true masculinity. It isn't. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's not what it is. So, all right, guys, I love you guys. If you want to support me in my work, I'm taking kind of a leap of faith on a lot of what I'm doing now. I'm just creating the content. I'm writing the emails. I'm doing the stuff that I find valuable, that I love, that I think is beneficial to you. I've got the Stoic channel. I've got the podcast now. So I'm not doing heavy marketing anymore. So I'm going to mention in the videos and whatnot, maybe send a few emails, but I'm not doing heavy marketing. And the page is still a little crazy, but there's a link down below for the Bulldog Mindset membership. I'm rebooting this in January. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to have a ton of content and great stuff in there. That's going to be the main thing that I'm going to be focusing on. So if you want to check it out, if you want to join, get in at the low price now before I raise the price on this, definitely click the link down below, and I'll see you tomorrow.